All right, YouTube, welcome back to the channel. So let's get right into this video. Let's talk about how you have a big personality if you're a chosen one or if you're highly gifted. You probably already know this too. You're somebody that nobody could copy. It's just one of you, right? And because it's only one of you, your personality is really noticeable. Like there's nobody that someone could compare you to in a way. They can't be like, oh, you act just the same as him. Like you might like look similar, but the way you act and the way you do things is completely different, right? And the reason you like this too is because since you are kind of purposed differently in life, like you see different things, you see, not that you literally see, but like you see through things and you have different ideas. You're a person with probably like ideas every single day in your head with like a business or something, or just the way you see things, the way you see people and everything, the way you can speak to people. You're just someone who's completely different. So whenever people speak to you and like the things that come out of your mouth, like when you're speaking to somebody, people will be like, wait, how did you even know that? Or like, why is this so accurate? Or like, why, like, how did you even see that about me, right? And like, you're probably someone who people could like say something to you and be like, you have a cool way of walking or something, or like you have a cool way of just doing things. Like you could be doing something extremely simple. Like you could like pick up a, I don't know, like say you're thirsty, you go to the grocery store and you get like a Gatorade or something, or you get like just water, and like you could have somebody that'll just be like, I don't know what it is, but it's just the way you do things. Just the way you do things is different, right? And I'm sure you've heard this before. I've heard this about myself too, and I never understood it. I'm like, what do you mean? And they're just like, it's pretty much just your presence. It's like the way you do things is just different. And then I was like, what are you even talking about? Like I did the same thing someone else would do, right? I'm not doing anything big. I'm just grabbing some water. But this is what it is about you. This is why you're so noticeable, because you could be doing the same things as other people are doing, but you still do it differently. That's what it is. Yeah, if you could just be doing what everyone else is doing, but you stand out while doing it. And you might be like, wait, what am I even doing? Like, I'm doing the exact same thing as everybody. Why are people telling me, like, I do it a different way or something like that? So, this is just part of who you are. This is your essence. If you're someone who's highly gifted, you're really noticeable, right? This is why you've always had, like, this kind of, like, weird spotlight effect on you from, like, it could be from strangers or, like, friends. It's always, like, multiple people viewing you, right? And you'll be like, what am I even doing, right? Like I always say in my old videos, it goes deeper than just like the way you look. You might have good looks, you might be someone who's really good looking, or you might be in really good shape or something. It goes deeper than that. It goes deeper than like superficial type of things, right? Like, yes, you might be an incredibly like good looking person, or you could be someone who's like in really good shape, but it's the fact that you just have a presence on you. You just have a spotlight effect on you, and it's at all times. This is why your life is always like, you've always felt like you're always the one that's targeted, right? And this could be a target for positivity or a target for negativity. So you need to understand that you're supposed to be like this too, because you're someone who's not built the same. It's not like you're built different. Well, you technically are, but you're just not built for the same exact things. So because you're not built for the same exact things, you're gonna have different gifts about you. You're gonna look different, right? Because you're made to do different things. And whenever you roam about and just do things, and whatever you're doing, it's always gonna look different when you do it for some reason. It doesn't matter if you're doing the same thing. Like you could be at the gym, be lifting weights, and you're doing everything the same. Like you're benching or whatever, you're squatting, or you're doing all these things at the gym, but for some reason people just like look at you when you're doing it, and they'll just be like, I like the way he or she benches or something, or like the way they put the weights on the rack is different, or like they'll just say things like this because like people view as like something they can't wrap their hand around. They're like, who is this person? Like this person's not doing anything, but they look so different doing it, right? And this happens because this is a spiritual thing, right? It's the spirit that you carry. You have the spirit of God, and you just like everything that you do always just will look different. It won't look the exact same. You kind of do everything full of charisma. That's what it is. That charisma comes from God. This this is kind of why people will tell you these things, and you want to understand. You're like, what am I even doing? It's because you're naturally like someone who's charismatic, right? Because the Spirit of God, you always kind of feel safe, even if your life is like in shambles, right? You always could just like feel safe, like something is always lifting you back up. And you probably notice this about yourself too, like your life could just be like materially or something, or like whatever it is, it could be like terrible. You have no money, you could have like nothing, you're about to lose your car or something, or it could be whatever it is. But then while you walk around, you're still like, you just look like you're doing all right all the time, and like you do everything with charisma. You do everything with charisma. That's the best way to explain it. And I'm sure if you're watching this video, you resonate to this. It's just the way that you do things, and you never notice it about yourself because you're so used to yourself. So whenever you do things, it just feels normal to you, right? You're like, oh, I'm just, doing this, I'm just speaking. But everything about you is different. That's the thing. Everything, the way you speak, the way your voice sounds, the things that you say, the way you just do normal things. Like you could be driving a car and like you drive it completely normal. Like maybe you drive with one arm or like two arms or whatever, but like just because you're doing it, there's something different about it, right? This makes me laugh because it never made like sense at first, because like you could be like, I'm not doing anything special. Like, why are people talking to me about it and everything? And this also goes back to like maybe when you're in school, when you're younger. Like I said in one of my old videos, like you're kind of like held to a higher standard, right? And like everyone could be using their phones, and like teacher's not getting mad, even though you're not supposed to use your phone, but the teacher's just ignoring it somehow. But as soon as you pull out that phone to get on your phone, the teacher will be like, hey, put that phone away, right to you. And you'll be like, did you not just see everyone on their phone? And then the teacher will be like, yes, I did, but put your phone away. And you're like, what? This is kind of how it is for you. This is why it's so like, it's just like irritating in a way, but not in like a bad way. Because you could be doing the same things as people, and for some reason you'll be the target for it. You'll be the one that's noticed for doing something like pointless or something. You could be doing that, and then a lot of other people could be doing it. No one's batting an eye on everyone else, but then all of a sudden you do it, and everyone's just like, you're like, whoa, what is going on, right? So the reason this happens is because you have a natural light to you. You have the spotlight effect on you, so you're someone who's easily noticed. You just notice. This is why I always said, like, you kind of just have this celebrity type of spirit to you. And a celebrity doesn't have to mean like a demonic, evil celebrity, like a lot of celebrities are. It just means that like a celebrity, you get kind of attention like a celebrity. And this has probably been happening to you since you were a child. And if you're chosen to, you know that you've probably had a lot of people older than you talk to, and you still do. Like, you have a lot of people that are older than you that like you, a lot of people that are older than you that like genuinely like to talk to you and everything. The reason you had like a lot of these older people that like to talk to you too, because older people are more experienced, right? They've seen more of life and everything, so they see you more for who you are. So someone who's older, they see you and they'll be like, whoa, this person's, this child or whatever, or this younger person, like something's different about them, right? They look like they know things, or like they walk different, or like they could just tell you're different, right? So ever since you were a child, you've always just gotten attention from either your age group, younger, and then a lot of attention from like older people, right? And like when older people would want to speak to you, and like you could have legit like intelligent conversation, not like necessarily like super intelligent conversations, but because you always had this like intelligent to you, and like this brain that would just see different types of things and everything, you were able to connect with older people even when you were younger. Like you could just talk to an older person. And there's always a light and a dark thing too, because you're always like this too. You could have even had like bad experiences with older people. Like they could have hated you, try to put you down. You could have been like bullied or something, just by like people who are older than you, because they see that you're someone who was gifted. They saw that you were someone who was like intelligent. They saw that you were someone who thought differently, who like saw through things and everything. This is why you've always had this kind of like weird attention on you, and it never made any sense, because you would look at people around and then they wouldn't get that same attention, or like they wouldn't get spoken to like you would get spoken to. you would get spoken to either really highly or really lowly. So you'd be like, what is going on? Like, what has this happened? So it's been like this since you were a child. You've had God's hand in your life and everything. You've had a lot of gifts given from God, and people could see that because it's all a spiritual thing. So people have been seeing that since you were a child. So whenever they would see you, they'd be like, well, I need to talk to this, you know, this child or this younger person, or it doesn't matter the age. So it all starts at a very young age too. And you were just born with a big personality because your personality was always something that, like, your personality was always kind of full of love, full of, like, you always saw things through non-bias, right? You never really saw things through bias. So whenever you would see like pointless like divisions and everything, or like stuff that you knew were corrupt, you would speak about it. And this is why people get angry for you, because you naturally expose like evil or like things that are unfair. You just naturally did it, right? And this is what makes you so noticeable, because people could see that, like, they can't really necessarily like come to you and try to like manipulate you, because you're gonna see through it, or like they can't really put on an act in front of you because you're gonna see it, right? And this is where a lot of the hate came from your life. I know you guys can resonate to this video. This is where most of your hate came from. It was never about you, right? But the hate always came from because you would like look at this person in their eye, or like a group of people, and you would see what they're doing, and you could tell that like they could be lying or something. You could easily tell, or like they could be doing like wicked things and everything, and you would see it like this, right? This is why a lot of people hated you too, because they couldn't really, they would always feel convicted around you. They would feel like they're doing something wrong around you, so they would take it out. They'd be like, no, I hate this person, get this person away from me, right? This is why you could have like complete strangers like just hate you for no reason, just literally for no reason. Like you see it in their eyes and everything, and you're like, I don't even know this person, right? But yeah, you need to know that you have a really bright and big personality. It's all a spiritual thing. It comes from God, and this is what makes you so noticeable. You'll forever be like a person who's noticeable, and none of this is to even brag. You might be someone who doesn't even like to be noticed, right? You just want to, you know, be on your own, or like chill with like a few friends that you like, or like be with your family or something. But then like anywhere you go, like people like strike up conversations with you, or like people will just like look at you a lot and everything, or like people will just it'll just be like weird situations that don't happen to most people, and you're probably like, what is going on? Like, what is it about me that like causes this and everything? But people could see spiritually that you have God's hand in your life. They could see that you're gifted with different things. You just have a big difference about you. You're not someone who could be copied. Like, it's impossible to copy you, right? Because if people do try to copy you, like they can't, because you just made someone who just cannot be copied. There's no, like, no one could like make another version of you. You can't. Only God could create another version, right? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, sorry for the delay. It's been like a week since I posted a video, but I'm gonna keep like I was normally doing, posting either every day, maybe trying to do every other day. That's what I'm trying to do with these videos. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to subscribe. All right, God bless you guys.